Hello, everybody, and welcome in to another episode of the Couch GMs podcast. It is Thursday, March 19th, 2026. I'm your host, George Kirk, joined by Cody Roadcap, and back for another week, Tyler Snyder. Nice to see you here again.
It's been 7 days. I know the countdown.
Oh, wow, this guy. And Cody, how are you doing, Cody?
Not great.
Oh,
Not great. We lost Cade. The Pistons season was going so strong, and we just lost him. It's like the Packers losing Micah. Our seasons are just derailed. It's been a rough year.
Is he going to be back for the playoffs?
Potentially, but he might have to miss the first round.
Team in the East. Okay, 30 seconds of NBA talk already going on here. Hi, Nova.
All right, well, in hockey, Austin Matthews and Leon Draisaitl are both done for the year. So, I mean, sad
No one
as
cares.
well.
No one cares about hockey.
People care.
And the Flyers are 6 points out of a playoff spot. It could finally happen again. Make sure you're following us at the Couch GMs on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok to get all the football news that you actually want. And you can always DM us with any questions you have or join us on Thursdays at 6:30 East to interact on the air. We have a mock draft coming up today, as promised last week. But first off, let's go ahead and see what's happening. Big kind of out of nowhere news for the week. Jalen Waddle was traded to the Denver Broncos. First round pick, third round pick, and a fourth round pick swap happening in this deal. I think all of us have agreed that that's a pretty hefty price tag for Jalen Waddle, even though we do know that the potential is there. What do you guys think of this trade?
From a football perspective, I think Waddle's a good player. I think he pairs nicely with a guy like Courtland Sutton. I think he's and he's more talented, more versatile than like a Troy Franklin, who's been their speed deep threat. I do think it's a little bit of an overpay in terms of draft capital, as George dips out if you're watching on YouTube. But I think the Broncos were a random broken ankle away from making the Super Bowl. So getting a big piece like Jalen Waddle when they're going to try to go all in on the rookie contract of Bo Nix, I get it from that standpoint. Too much to give up, but I think it's a solid addition. Outside of that,
Cats are destructive. Sorry.
Yes, they can be.
Oh, well,
yeah, I mean, I think it's an overpay as well. But at the same time, it's only an overpay if that draft pick ends up working out. I say as a Titans fan who every draft pick we've had over the last 5 years pretty much is either no longer on the team or no longer in football. You have a guy like Jalen Waddle that you know you're getting talent from. And it's a late round draft pick that they got. Maybe the guy you drafted at the end of the first round. I mean, it's a first round pick. You should be pretty sure that they're going to be something. But how many first round receivers have we seen completely bust and make nothing of their career? And not even saying they're going to draft a receiver, but you know what I'm saying. How many first round picks have busted and made nothing of their career? Waddle, at least you know what you're getting, which I feel like adds a little bit of value. Still, even yet, I feel like it is a little bit of an overpay. But I'm really excited for Waddle, and I hope this is the change of scenery that he needs, and hopefully his career gets back on track.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that got me is being tuned in with all the Eagles news. We're sitting here like, can we get a first and a second or a 2 firsts for A.J. Brown? And you essentially got a first and a third for Jalen Waddle. And as much as I love Waddle, it's like he's a much less put together asset than an A.J. Brown has been. He's had less success in his career. He's been a wide receiver 2 and A.J.'s been a wide receiver 1. Like, it seemed like an overpay in that state. I'm not saying it's a bad trade because I do think it could be the one piece that puts the Broncos over the top. It just seemed like they almost desperation paid for somebody that they didn't have to.
Yeah. I think, and there's a lot of Waddle's still he's a good wide receiver. I don't want to belittle him in any way, shape, or form, but he does come with an injury history. He does come with, he's a lot of speed, and he's, getting into those high 20 ages that they are, going to have to extend him in the next 2 years if they want to keep him. And you think they would after giving up the first round pick. But where I do think this differs a little bit from A.J. Brown and Jalen Waddle is the salary cap numbers, where there's a lot of dead cap that Miami is paying for losing Jalen Waddle. There's for a lot of players, for a matter of fact. But in terms of what Denver has to pay, they're looking at like a contract that's more equivalent to like what Romeo Dobbs just got. And I think you didn't have to give up first round pick to get Romeo Dobbs, but you're getting a player that I think people would say is better or has more high upside potential than a Romeo Dobbs for the same price outside of the draft capital.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't really have too much else to say here, except we'll see if it works out for the Broncos. If they end up going back and winning a Super Bowl, no one cares that they paid a first and a third essentially for Jalen Waddle. If they start to struggle again and they need those draft picks later, then obviously people are going to view this as a bad trade. So I think it's look at your perspective at this point, but it's going to really be a trade that's going to be graded 3 years down the road, and we see if it actually worked out or not. Does Jalen Waddle stay on the field, and do they actually get to, their championship that they were close to last year?
Well, that more depends if you believe in Bo Nix or not. So, which is a different topic for a different day.
They put the receivers around him now. Maybe he doesn't have the star top end wide receiver one, but he's got a lot of good twos.
I like Sutton. I think he's a good wide receiver.
I do too. Him and Waddle should be fun to watch together. And I mean, let's see if Waddle falls into our top 4 rounds in a 12 team, or if he gets knocked out with this trade. Because I think he was in our original mock draft, Cody. I'm not sure if you remember.
I remember. Some fan will have to let us know. Do better jobs than we do.
A couple other not as exciting pieces of news before we move through. Eagles made a couple of moves. They traded a 7th-round pick to the Panthers for Andy Dalton. They also signed Dameon Pierce and Hollywood Brown. The big one there being Hollywood Brown, because then it raises speculation of, is AJ really getting traded, or is this just going to be a wide receiver 3-piece? Any thoughts on any of these?
I think it's a Jahan Dotson replacement more than a like that. I'm not saying that means AJ Brown doesn't get traded. I think he might still, whether it's the draft, I tend to believe it's going to be like a training camp after June 1st when the money sits in a little bit better. Maybe someone gets hurt and they get moved during the training camp timeline. But it doesn't make me go, oh, they're definitely moving them now. And Andy Dalton is Andy Dalton. Like, they're probably still going to start Tanner McKee as the backup, or if that dude's even still on the team.
He is. I think he's going to get traded.
I feel like AJ Brown's not going to get moved this season. I truly believe that. I just feel like the asking price for AJ isn't where teams are willing to pay for AJ right now. So I feel like he's not going to get moved this season. I feel like after the season is better chance that he's going to be on a different team.
Yeah, I'm kind of sticking to the guns of, I think if he gets traded, it's going to be during the draft. If the Eagles, see something fall to pick, I don't know who picks here, 21, 22, they have a guy they really want, they can get that pick plus something for AJ. I could see something like that happening. But you've heard stuff all over where, agreeing with Tyler that he's not getting traded. I've heard Cody say he doesn't think he's going to trade until after June 1st. I've heard a lot of that. It's all over the place, kind of like all the AJ talk has been over the last year. So it's hard to tell what is going to happen. I just know that Howie Roseman, the Eagles GM, is very specific about, I want good players. He said I would trade for AJ if he was available. So he's not going to settle for anything. If there was really an offer of a 1 and a 2 and he declined it, he really wants 2 1s, and he's not going to pivot off of that for something less than, a player he's really coveting or getting the 2 1s.
Yeah. And I would just throw in there, if you want numbers to back up why I say the June 1st thing, if he gets traded beforehand during the draft and stuff like that, the Eagles will have $43 million in dead cap this season, compared to 16 post June 1st. They'll have some dead cap carried over for next year, but they're going to have that either way. So
Cap Guru Cody.
Let's not put that out there.
When it gets past June 1st, does that just lower the dead cap, or does it spread the dead cap over 2 years?
It spreads the dead cap over the 2 years.
I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah. He's still, because of his contract, I believe will probably still have dead cap in 2027 if he gets traded as well. But that number will be higher. They're paying the $43 million no matter what, right? It's and whatever it is next year, let's say it's 7, so you're going to be at 50. So you're either going to pay 43 and 7, or you're going to pay like 23 and 15, or 23 and 17, I guess is the math.
I'm impressed you got that close on the math anyway. That's pretty good. But I thought that's how it went. So, I mean, knowing the way that Howie puts, dead years on 1-year contracts, void years on 1-year contracts, I could see him waiting until the end of June 1st. But I still would be, I guess, on the bet of he's probably going to be on the Eagles next year at the end of the day. Former Eagle Carson Wentz, who started a couple of games in Minnesota last year and then went on injured reserve with shoulder surgery, is returning to Minnesota, which I guess spells the end of 9.
Sure. Maybe.
Now with 2 quarterbacks there, including him.
Look, just like I don't think Hollywood Brown was, they're definitely trading A.J. Brown. I don't think Carson Wentz is like, we're 100% giving up on J.J. McCarthy. Like, if Wentz played well for them, bring him back. He's a cheap deal. Let him battle that out at camp. If Wentz ends up getting cut because his contract will be guaranteed after week 1, would not be surprised by that. If they try to move 9 for a 7th-round pick during the draft for some team, I could see that as well. And then they have a veteran backup. And I mean, Kyler Murray is coming off of an injury as well, too. So he's like no sure thing to be even ready week 1.
Minnesota just trying to piece together whatever they can to be a relevant team because they know with a quarterback they have a shot.
They like to think that.
Spoken like a true Packers fan over there. Rule changes came out, not as exciting as last year, and we don't know what the competition committee is going to be proposing yet this year. We'll get that in the next few weeks before the meetings. But Steelers proposed a rule that would extend a rule that started this year that would allow 5 players to have meetings directly with teams during the 2-day legal tampering period before free agency opens. Previously, you could only have meetings with agents, not directly talk to players. And then the Browns proposing a trade that would allow you to trade draft picks 5 years out instead of just 3. And I know you and I talked about this a little bit, Cody, how that could cause some trouble for some teams who are just going to go out there and try to sell out, we think. The Rams, I'm not saying they would be a team to trade a pick 5 years out, but they had 1 first-round draft pick in the last 7 years. Could you imagine if they could have traded picks 5 years out?
I probably won the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it gets a little bit more hairy, a little bit more confusing when you're trading picks that far out. But I mean, I guess it does add a little bit of value for those moments where you're like, I want draft picks and, this guy's not worth much. Instead of, I think it'll kind of eliminate the swapping of 7th-round picks. That kind of move you see a lot. I think it'll be more of a give me your 7th-round pick 5 years out and we'll call it a trade instead of, just swapping 7th-round picks. I think that's going to be your low-end deals.
Yeah, I kind of see it as like, sure, it'll happen, and then people will talk about it, and outside, nothing really will change unless, and I think it's interesting that the Browns are the team that proposed it, because supposedly the Browns turned down a 3 first-round pick offer for Myles Garrett, right? So they're like, well, if we could have got 3 first rounds, because he's an all-star player, maybe we could have got 4, maybe we could have got 5. And then I think that's going to, spur the rumors of like the Joe Burrow trade. Like if for some reason Buffalo wanted to trade Josh Allen and you get like the elite of the elite, top tier 1% NFL superstars. If you go, I'll give you 5 first-round picks for Joe Burrow. Would you like? Some teams will be like, no way. Bengals probably like, yeah, I've done it for 5/3, but that's a different conversation too. But I think that's where it would get interesting. You'll start to see like maybe these teams would be more willing to pair with star players if they could get that much draft capital. But in the NBA, where you can trade picks and stuff like that, you can't do it consecutive years. So I wonder if there would be any kind of like caveat. So like if you can trade 5 years out, but you can't trade like 3 consecutive years in a row. So it'd be like your 2026 first, 2027, and your 2029 or something like that instead of 3 in a row.
Can they trade 5 years? I swear I've already seen 2033 draft picks traded there. Maybe not.
Yeah, the NBA is weird. They can go out farther, but they
picks and stuff too.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I don't think any player is worth 5 first-round picks ever.
I mean, because if a player is worth that, a team shouldn't want to trade him, I guess.
But here, so I'll use this example, and this is where I think like we'll get into the trouble of it. I'm not saying either is right or wrong, but like let's look at the Indianapolis Colts. They just gave a big contract to Daniel Jones. It is very apparent from our places on the couch, not knowing any inside and out, that if they have another bad season, their GM and their head coach is getting fired. So when you're on the quote unquote hot seat, does that make you more intrigued? Be like, oh, if I had 5 picks, I could go get Joe Burrow, and I'm going to trade Joe Burrow because if we don't win this year, I'm out of a job anyways, and I don't need those picks. Like that's where I think that kind of. But is it worth saving yourself for 1 year because then you don't have picks?
That's a sketchy road to go down, because I feel like if you traded away 5 first-round picks on your way out of a team, you are never getting another job after that.
But I think
on
that's
top
where
of
it comes.
Once Joe Burrow gets injured again, and then they miss the playoffs, then there's no GM that wants to go there because like I don't have a first round pick for 4 more years now. Why do I want to do this?
All that to say, I think that's why like ultimately the owners will like veto this proposal more than like the Players Association.
I don't think it works in the NFL quite like it does in the NBA. Not even just because they don't have a lottery. It's just a totally different monster.
All that being said, I still think I would pass the rule. I mean, it makes it more interesting. Sure, why not?
It's going to be boring, too, until you have the one team. Because it's going to be like, trade a 7th 5 years out, like you said. Until you have the one team that maybe maybe it isn't trade 5 first-round picks. But maybe it's, 3 first-round picks, but it's this year, next year, and 4 years from now. Not 1, 2, 3. Like, that kind of thing will probably be the thing that, like, breaks it open.
I also think like windows in the NFL are very short, that it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, a guy can have a career-ending injury any season.
Like, just out of curiosity, now I'm curious, and this is me doing live research on the air.
It's always good.
Never a good thing.
But like, how many NFL head coaches have been tenured for longer than 5 years?
That's
like to think
low
that
at this point.
Like current head coaches?
Yeah, that have had 5 years. So it would be Reed, McVay, Shanahan, LaFleur, Zach Taylor, and then this would be their 5th season for Dan Campbell and Nick Sirianni. Like the rest of the league has had turnover, have had multiple turnovers. And like, think 5 years ago, someone traded all those picks and like only these coaches are left. Like, there's just too much turnover.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me hate it more. So, congrats to you for getting me on board.
Anytime.
All right, one more bit of news, and it hasn't been confirmed. I don't think for sure. Maybe it has. We're opening the season potentially on a Wednesday this year. Cody says he thinks a lot of it's because the season starting later, high school football with Fridays. We're going to see an opening Wednesday, and then the first overseas game potentially being the Melbourne game on Thursday. That's going to just throw a whole wrench into everything. Wednesday just feels strange to me for football.
Well, they're getting us ready for what was it, Thanksgiving Eve that they were talking about a couple weeks ago at the Combine, that they wanted Wednesday games and stuff like that. But yes, it is I just had it up. It is the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961, where it bars NFL games from being played on Friday night or Saturday night from the second Friday of September until the second Saturday of December, because the September is starting a little bit later this year, or how it falls in the calendar. That first opening week would fall on the second Friday, so they're going to have to move it up. And that's why it's rumored that in addition to those changes, Brazil will be played in week 3.
That stinks for the Brazil teams too, because we know how much they were trying to talk about that travel the last 2 years, and then you're going to make them play on a normal week essentially. That early week 3, you're probably not going to give them a bye right after. I would assume, what are they going to play? Like a Saturday? Or they can't play Saturday night. Sorry, Sunday night? Like, where are they going to put that in the time slot?
They'll
probably make it the Sunday morning game and have them play The next
Maybe it's
Sunday, you have a week to recover, I guess.
week 3 Monday Night Football into a bye.
So they haven't had week 4 buys for a few years. I know they've had them in the past. I don't know if they've had them since the 17th game. But that's like a double whammy of like middle of your, you're getting going in the season. Now you have to go all the way to Brazil, and then you get a bye in week 4. That just seems horrible.
I don't think. I mean, what I'll say about Brazil is it's a long plane ride, but the time change isn't bad. I mean, obviously, if you're like Seattle, but for us on the East Coast, like it's just a long plane ride, which isn't great. But it's not like going to Melbourne where they're going to be playing on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, which is probably like Friday at noon or Thursday into Friday. So I think it's easier to do the Brazil game in the middle of the season than the Melbourne one.
I've never been a big fan of the international games, but I understand it's a big money ploy. So I get it, but I don't like it.
I'm also intrigued. Do we know why the season starts a week later this year? Is it because they're trying to test the whole President's Day the day after the Super Bowl thing, or was there another reason that just happened to fall that way?
I think it's just the way the calendar fell.
Because of, I think they normally watch after Labor Day. Is that like normally the marker?
Yeah, and then like whatever is the day, like the first Friday of September is probably the first, so it like throws or however it works out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because I do know it's a week later, and it must just be that Labor Day falls later because we have the finally the day after the Super Bowl is a national holiday, but it's President's Day, and that's the only way this is going to fall. That's why people wanted the 18th game also because of that extra week, but I don't think it would work that way even if we did 18 games because there's going to be another bye or something.
So it would work when we get to 18 games for sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's hurry up and get 18 games.
I'm wondering if that's a talk that's going to come up in rule changes when the competition committee talks, but I don't think it's going to be something that happens this year. I know it's on the docket eventually.
That has to be collective bargained. That's not just a rule change.
It's built into the collective bargaining agreement that they are allowed to negotiate an 18th game. So is it going to happen, or is it just going to kind of get pushed off?
It'll be pushed off for at least 3 more years.
I don't know how long the current CBA goes either.
I just made a number up.
Okay, cool. Cody calling his shot for 2030 being the first year with 18 games. But in the meantime, why don't we jump into a way too early mock draft?
I don't think I have a bumper.
Cool. Good job, Cody. Proud of you. So, if you watched us during Pro Bowl week when we tried to talk about everything but the Pro Bowl, Cody and I did an exercise here where we did a 10-team 5-round way too early mock draft where we picked for every team, just kind of trying to predict what the first part of your fantasy drafts will look like for next year. We debated how we wanted to do it here. We're going to do it very similarly, but we're going to go 4 rounds, 12 teams with 3 of us being here. Alternate making picks, snake draft. We have Tyler over here. He's going to pick for teams 1, 4, 7, and 10. Cody's going to pick for 2, 5, 8, and 11, and I'm going to pick for 3, 6, 9, and 12. So, I mean, just for color coding sake, Tyler's orange, Cody is blue, I am green. So.
No, I'm green.
Oh.
Bro, we've used the same colors for 300 episodes.
So that means I'm 2, 5, 8, and 11, and you're 3, 6, 9, and 12. Cool. Change it on the fly for me.
We're doing so good.
Yep. Shows how
what
much
episode is this?
I had 334.
And we've used the same colors since episode 1.
I know I've always been orange. That's all I know.
And your boy messed it up. Cool. Sounds good to me.
But Tyler shows the first pick.
Yes, he does. I'm going to go find my screen so I can do the typing as we go. And you, Tyler, can pick whenever you're ready.
All right, so first overall pick, if I were to draft today, I feel like there's 2 clear candidates, but I'm going with the other guy wearing the light blue. I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs.
You did say to lock it in last week, right?
I love Jahmyr Gibbs.
I think he went first in our previous one too, before free agency.
That was you, pal. So I don't know.
I wish Cody was doing the typing so he could spell every name wrong. That'd be fun.
We don't do that anymore.
I'm surprised I spelled that right because I've gotten that wrong plenty of times before. All right, I think I'm together here. Pick 2. I am going to stick running back, and I'm going to go Bijan Robinson.
Chalk.
Yay.
Team 3, is this the end of your tier 1, Cody? Is this a tier 2?
It's probably still tier 1 for me. I mean, I think there's 2 more guys in tier 1.
Okay.
They're just done with the running backs. We're on to the wide receivers. Heck, there might be 3 in wide receivers, depending on how much you like certain guys. Do you want to go off the people that went last year went off? Let's be different. I'm going to take Jackson Smith and Jigba. Let him repeat.
I always get scared when I type that name. I mean, that makes sense to me. Not much has changed. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, he proved himself last year. I'm going to stick wide receiver for team 4, and I'm going to go with a guy that I have honestly never had a chance to have in fantasy, but I've played against a million times, and he always frustrates me, and that's Puka Nakua.
I almost went him, and I think like the rumblings that like the Rams were interested in AJ Brown, they were willing to like move even off of Devontae Adams to get him. One, well, if they move off Devontae Adams, that makes Puka even more valuable. If they brought in an AJ Brown to replace him, that could cause some more issues. But they were able to support 2 top 10 wide receivers last year, so it feels like a very safe pick, especially at spot 4.
The only thing that makes me nervous with Puka is the way they use him, how heavily he's utilized in that offense. I feel like his body is going to break down a lot faster than a lot of other wide receivers in this league. So I feel like his durability is going to start getting lower and lower each season, and you're going to have more risk of injury because of how heavily he's used. Makes me nervous, but I don't draft for injuries.
No, it's an interesting thought because he did have a couple of those like games where he was banged up. He might have missed one. I'm not sure, 1 or 2. And yeah, it's because of the style of play. He's very hard nosed for a wide receiver. So I get exactly what you're saying there. But he's still at the point where I wouldn't be worried about drafting for injury with him because he hasn't missed significant time and he's still a young player. Something to watch maybe for the future. I'm kind of also stalling here because I think that's the end of my first tier, and I'm moving on to tier 2, and I have a couple of different guys.
There's one more.
I mean, depends on how confident you are after the... He was not exactly super on point for where he was drafted the last few years, so there might be a couple of scars. I'm going to go with him anyway, at least the guy I think you're talking about, and that's going to be Jamar Chase. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, he had. I mean, obviously Burrow's injury last year played a big factor of it. Although he started balling out with Joe Flacco as well, and he won the Triple Crown 2 years ago. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, he's kind of scarred you. Like he still was a top 12 wide receiver last year. The Burrow injury hurt his number 1 overall. 2 years off the Triple Crown. He's still in tier 1.
Okay.
I got him. No comeback.
Make your pick for 6 now.
Make my pick for 6 now. George is irritated. This is like really the bad spot, but this would be where I don't want in a draft if I'm right now.
Cody is not trying to pick 6, 7, or 8 probably this year.
Nope. But give me you know what? They just got Kyler Murray. Give me Justin Jefferson. Let's have some fun.
It's funny, like it's very early, and I think he's gonna jump back up. I can't type and talk apparently. He's going to jump back up some rankings, I think, now that they have the quarterback situation figured out to an extent, but he is a lot lower than he was last year at this time just because of everything that happened. And that was the first time we saw him struggle despite quarterback.
Yeah, and maybe this pick looks really dumb if Carson Wentz wins the starting job.
No, he did fine with Carson Wentz. It was once Carson Wentz was gone is when he stunk.
Because Carson Wentz is the answer.
100%.
Carson Wentz isn't the question, but he is the answer. Okay, on to my pick. I'm going to stick with wide receiver, and I'm going to go with one of my absolute favorite guys in the entire NFL. Sticking with the Powder Blues, I'm going with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I like that one. Cody's not trying to help me fill in time while I'm trying to type, especially when it's that long of a name. Appreciate that.
I was just letting you go.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
learn to text, type, and talk at the same time.
Texting and typing is the same thing.
Depends on what you're using.
I only have two hands, bro.
Oh my god,
Cody and I are just gonna feud.
we are
rest of
off
this
the
draft.
rails.
We were never on them.
That's fair.
What are rails? Team
Any
8
day,
is
George, you
me.
can pick.
We are off the
I
couch.
am going to go with the boy who I really wished would have carried me to a championship in the World Cup last year, but fell off in the second half of the year once his quarterback injured his ankle. Jonathan Taylor.
Interesting. Not a bad pick there. Not a bad pick. I'll take CD Lamb. Okay, thanks.
He sounds like who you would have taken at 8 with how you reacted there.
I probably would have taken him. He was who I was debating between at 6, so I'm doing great.
I'm not afraid of him. Give me Christian McCaffrey.
I would have also taken him over Jonathan Taylor.
I know I'm not shocked there, but I still can't get over this. It's not Christian McCaffrey's going to have a horrible year. It's an even year. He does good on odd years.
Just if he goes to Germany during training camp, then we know.
True, we're not falling for that one again, right?
Correct.
Because he was totally fine 2 years ago until he went to Germany, and then it was all over. All right, back to it's me, right? Yep, Team 11. Cool. This is an interesting tier break to me. Couple of running backs who have, well, a running back who has question marks, a running back who I really like. I just don't know if I've ever liked taking him this high. And then some wide receivers that could be fantastic and could be not fantastic. I think my favorite upside pick here is Malik Neighbors, but I don't like the stories of the injury that I've heard from him. So I'm going to see what falls back around to me in the wide receiver department here. I'm going to go running back, and I'm going to take James Cook.
Okay. Not bad.
I never really liked taking him in round 1, but, I mean, the potential's there.
If this is a 10-team league, you just took him in round 2, and then you're fine.
Exactly. If I took him on the turn with somebody else, I feel better. So.
All right. I'm going to then go with back-to-back wide receivers for Team 12. We'll go Drake London for our safe bet that no one ever likes, but just ends up being solid. And then because we did that, we'll take the flyer on Malik Neighbors.
Okay. I mean, I know you say that Drake London's the safe bet, but how many games did he miss with injury last year? If he would stay healthy, he'd be so good.
I don't draft for injury. Didn't we just talk about this? Didn't you say that, Snyder?
I say it every year. Don't avoid people because of injury. Because anybody can get injured. It's a contact sport.
All right, so London and Neighbors were the top 2 receivers that I was looking at for Team 11, so that's great for me, but I'm going to go to the third guy on the list and hope we get a little bit of resurgence with C.J. Stroud and take Nico Collins.
For what it's worth, never mind.
Go ahead.
No, you gotta can't leave us hanging now.
Yeah, come on.
You bring up injuries and then you look and he missed 5 games last year after playing the whole season before that, 16 games the year before that, and 17 before that. And you're acting like this dude is always crippled.
You're up.
Got him again.
With your injured running back. Go ahead.
I'm not up.
I think it's funny. Anyway, typically if I took running back in the first round, I want to go wide receiver in the second round, but I'm not going to. I feel like Eagles had to have learned their lesson from last year of not using Saquon enough, so I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley.
Nice.
That's great value for him this year if he stays around there, just because you know what he can do. I think this is similar to where Derrick Henry ended up being last year, and I mean he had some down weeks, but for the most part he was solid. I think this is a good spot. I mean both of them can end up going around here. He's still on the board. I need to stop talking.
All right, my turn. I'm going to go with. I could go George Pickens here and just call the Cowboys wide receivers because that'd be fun. But I'm having fun with this one. Let's go Trey McBride.
If I took a tight end this early, you'd be calling me crazy.
Well,
Trey McBride is the one that seems to be.
We're 16 picks in.
Yeah.
I couldn't take George Pickens, who's higher than him, so because of where I was at.
You're not worried about him with the quarterback situation.
He did fine with Brissett.
Okay. He did. I just had to ask the question.
Trade for Carson Wentz. He's the answer.
Do they have Gardner
signed him 2 days ago? But no, we're gonna trade for him.
They have Gardner Minshew as their backup. It'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, they're set.
The van is moving to the desert. Team 8 has Jonathan Taylor, and I'm going to go ahead and take George Pickens to pair with him.
Solid.
Make fun of that pick.
Dude, I said solid.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
All right, we're having fun with this draft, right?
Yeah.
Got a good receiver in the first round. I'm going to go with the running back I think is going to have an absolute amazing year, hopefully, depending on where he goes. Give me Jeremiah Love.
Okay, I know this one's spelled weird. Good luck for me here. He's obviously going to be the person who could move up or down the most, just because we don't know where he's going to be placed yet. But copy paste. I got this.
Oh, there you go. I'll also go running back here.
Mm-hmm.
They paid a boatload of money to the center in free agency, bolster the offensive line. They're going to have a rookie quarterback. Give me Ashton Genty.
I like Genty there.
Team 6 is either going to have a heck of a lot of fun, or they're going to quit playing fantasy by week 3 and then go on with their life. And I think that's okay.
It's less stressful.
From that draft spot, I mean, I think it's the best you could do. It's very boomer bust. Are we worried about Genty potentially being in a split this year? I know they talked about that in Vegas.
No. I mean, what is your definition of worry?
I mean, I guess the fact that you dropped to this part of round 2, despite that potential, already kind of factors in some of that.
Didn't they sign Algier? Isn't he already going to? Was not them that did that? So he's going to steal some touchdowns. We already know that.
He always does. He's annoying.
Yes, he does.
Oh, he signed with the Cardinals. My bad.
Yeah. No.
Have to check out our lads to see who the backup is.
I'm pretty sure it's
not a sponsor.
Kenny Gainwell.
That's not who our lads has, but maybe.
Not a sponsor.
They have Dylan. Wow, Cody learned to read. This is bad.
Okay, so there was talks about them trying to pair running back, but I don't know if they got any.
Maybe they'll draft Jeremiah Love.
There you go.
I don't know how they. They can't now.
Adjust some rankings here.
So, and they don't have that Raiders first round pick to do it anymore, or the Ravens first round pick to do it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Team 5 has Jamar Chase. I'm going to go running back here, and I can go with one of my favorite guys who is on a dumpster fire of a team right now. I can go with All Reliable, or I can go with a second-year back who has a lot of potential. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'll just go with Devon Achane.
Yeah, Achane's that guy that's going to be like, I don't want to touch him in fantasy, but once he falls far enough, you're just going to be like, do I just do it? Do I just do it? And it's either going to win you a league because you got a guy with his caliber super late, or it's going to bite you in the butt. And like Cody said, by week 6, you'll be not worrying about fantasy football anymore, which is okay.
Yes, exactly.
As long as you're still watching the podcast, obviously.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. No, yeah, that's just because they hopefully solved their quarterback situation with Malik Willis, but traded everybody else on that team, and we don't know if he's going to get traded at the deadline too. And I feel like a stud running back getting traded at the deadline could either be the best thing that happens to your fantasy team or absolute disaster. It's just there's so much turmoil there. But he's done nothing but produce since he's been in the league.
Yeah, it was him or Genty for me, so I went with the fun pick, but I think Achan should have went higher for sure.
I believe it's Tyler pick 4.
Between two running backs here, and there's one I obviously like more, and there's one that's more interesting. I'm going to go with the one I like more because we're just having fun today. So I'm going Derrick Henry.
He was all reliable. I think the other one is the other guy I was looking at for the last pick. So
there's like 5 running backs before Derrick Henry for me, so on the board. That's
very
crazy.
low on Derrick Henry, I see.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
That means I'm up.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah,
Let's
JSN
see.
at pick at team 3.
I know I have him at team 3.
I'm just trying to
buy
some time.
Let me go with. How do I want to do this? I'm tilting.
You want to do this?
Full tilt. Give me Tetaroa McMillan.
Interesting.
I was going to go AJ Brown and say hopefully he gets traded, but we already talked enough about that. So
betting a little bit on a jump, but considering he didn't score a lot of touchdowns last year, the potential to grow is there for sure.
I like it. And
I stall long enough, George. Here you are.
Bijan Robinson. And then I still think there's running backs up here on the board before some of these receivers I like. So I think I'm going to go double running back for this team to start off. I'm going to go on Marion Hampton. I'm a Chargers fan. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nice. That wasn't me.
Thank you. I had it ready. I want you to know I purposely avoided drafting Omarion Hampton, waiting for you to take him so I could press the button, because this is my first time with access to the buttons.
Who gave him access to the buttons?
You.
You.
You're right. You got the turn with team 1.
All right. I'm going to go double running back and give me Ken Walker.
I like it.
Him in Kansas City has the potential to be very good.
Oh, man, but I have the turn. Oh, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really love the wide receivers around this time. I feel like I need to go wide receiver with having running back. I could go with, tight end, quarterback, something like that, but that's not my style. I'm going to go with number 2 receiver that is still a super solid receiver. Give me T. Higgins.
T. Higgins. Interesting.
I mean, if we really think that offense is going to go back to clicking on all cylinders, that's going to be a good pick for round 3. And could be a decent wide receiver 1, because you went 2 very solid running backs there. All right. Back to me. 2 running backs here. And I think this team is just going to try to beat people with pure will and points. And I'm going to go with the first quarterback off the board in Josh Allen.
Going quarterback. Leaving wide receiver available if I wanted to triple dip. Like I'm at Chili's, not a sponsor. I'm sorry, guys.
Cody is hungry.
It's terrible.
Let's go with this pick. Give me. I need a running back here. Give me one, Mr. Chase Brown.
I got to pivot. That was my next pick.
I don't know what to think of him this year, because I mean, if Burrow's healthy, I think he's got all the potential. It's just, I feel like there has to be a point where there's only so many points to go around, and a lot of them are going to go to Chase and T.
You do you, Brew.
Yeah, I feel like if they go back to what their old self, then all of them will be valuable. But that's asking everybody to stay healthy, everybody to click the way that they used to. I don't know. I still like Chase Brown. I was debating him earlier. He was going to be my next pick if Cody didn't take him. I like having Puka as the number one receiver on this team. So at this point, I'd want to double down with running backs. And I like Josh Jacobs at this point.
That is what I was debating between. So those two were going with these two picks, one way or the other.
Not good news for running back one, Devon Achane. I mean, it could be if he turns out fine, but who knows there. I think I'm going to go wide receiver here anyway, and I'm going to give some love to Chris Olave. He didn't get enough love last year.
Yep. I agree. He was going to be my next pick, so now I got to pivot. Don't really know where I want to go.
Just to give you a couple seconds, Team 6 currently has Justin Jefferson, Ashton Genty, and is the team that's either going to win a championship or is going to be quitting by week 5. So who are you going to have to fit that mold?
Oh, man. There's some guys that definitely fit that mold.
Yeah, I agree.
A.J. Brown.
That's a pretty
That's
good
one of them. I feel like it was between him or Rashee Rice for out by week 5.
I mean, I don't know if AJ's going to be out by week 5, but there's a chance that if you're drafting this early and taking it into the season, you get traded to somewhere bad. No go.
And the third guy on the list was Lamar Jackson.
That's a good
Absolutely.
one, too. Yep.
Absolutely.
Are you going to take Lamar Jackson in Team 7 here?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I am going to keep it balanced, though. I'm going to have one team that's going balanced. So I have wide receiver. We have a running back. I'm going to go tight end with this team and go Brock Bowers. I feel like
fell further than you should have.
Well, new rookie quarterback, and rookie quarterbacks have a history of targeting the tight end. You're going to want to go to the safe guy, so you're going to want to go to Brock Bowers. He's going to be the most consistent, dependable option on that team. I think that he's going to really step it back up. I think he's going to give a Trey McBride a run for his money on tight end 1.
Well, George will tell you he was injured.
Bowers backer on this podcast because normally I'm the one that backs Brock Bowers too much, and then Cody's like, but Trey McBride's the only good guy on that position, so.
That is not what I've said. I just said that he was going to be tight end 1 last year, and he was. And the way you've been going, I'm surprised you're not being like, well, Brock Bowers, he might be injured a lot because he missed 5 games last year, and he's going to be injured, and you can't count on him, so why draft him?
It's getting hot in here.
It is. Jonathan Taylor and George Pickens on Team 8 so far, so I can kind of go wherever I'd like here. Rashee Rice is the name that stands out to me, but I cannot, at this point, just get myself to draft him because you don't know what the heck is happening. So I'm going to go another old reliable and hope he scores a lot of red zone touchdowns again. I'm going to pick Devontae Adams.
Interesting. I think the Rashee Rice thing, that something we didn't talk about, is he's probably going to start the year with Justin Fields too. Outside of his off the field stuff, first 4 games feels like it's going to be Justin Fields after they made that trade. So
that's true too. Yeah, I think we did miss that one in news. So good call, good pull there. But yeah, I think Mahomes wants to be back to the start of the season, but there's no reason to rush back someone like Mahomes for the start of the season. Like week 4 is probably going to be a target for him.
All right. So I was hoping Brock Bowers was here because I was actually going to double up on them because I don't love the running backs in this spot.
If you draft 2 tight ends in the first 3 rounds in an actual draft this year, I'll give you $1.
I was going to say, what's it worth? But this is March right now, so we can have some fun and just, see
$1 is more than he would win in a normal league anyway, so might as well.
This guy.
That's because I don't gamble illegally in fantasy football. I only play for funsies. Next question. All right. I'm going to take. I don't know if you get back to my team that's going to want to, quit in week 3. So let's have some fun and take Lamar Jackson.
My next question is going to be, is Team 9 going to take a running back in this draft? With
nope.
Only being 4 rounds.
Might as well make it 5.
0 running back.
It's rapid fire round 5. Add the column, George.
Yeah. All right. So Oh, we're rapid fire round 5.
He said it. I just type.
All right. Round 3. This team has already taken 2 running backs, needs a receiver at this point. Best receiver on the board right now is Rashee Rice, but I'm not going to take him because I just don't trust drafting Rashee Rice anywhere. So I'm going to go with a guy that was drafted a lot higher last year and disappointed some teams. Hoping that he has a really good year this year. I'm going Lad McConkey.
That's a good, interesting, maybe good pick. We'll see. Have to find out in September.
You can't say any of these picks are bad right now because it's also so early.
That's what makes this so much fun. I was actually trying to like find like a lad joke in there, like don't get sad, get lad or something like that, but it wasn't working, so I had to stumble.
Yes. Cool. I can't back that up, so I'm just gonna move on to my pick.
I mean, look, if people are gonna listen to us right now over watching March Madness over this weekend, we got to give them some entertainment outside of this player is ADP 37. I got him at 43, so we're good to go.
Don't get mad, get lad. Make sure you make that the podcast title when you post it on podcast platform later.
You got it, boss.
Cool. I mean, I think what I put is pretty good too, but not that good. Team 11 has James Cook and Nico Collins. Yeah. I guess Rashee Rice has fallen too far, so I'm going to take him.
Oh, that's a pretty smart thing to do there. I got distracted trying to see if I could change the name of the podcast live while we're happening, which I might have been able to, but I didn't want to click too many buttons. But it's my turn.
I get booted off the air.
Exactly. So I stopped.
I already did that once today, so what's wrong if you do?
All right. Now we're getting into this fun time of players, but I think there's some still good ones out there. And Team 12's on the turn with Drake London, Malik Neighbors. So why don't we go with, I don't know, let's throw out there one Mr. Bucky Irving for some running back love, because we need some running backs. And why don't we double dip with a Kyron Williams?
Cody is spending all of his running back stock on Team 12 so he can make sure that Team 9 does not get one.
Hey, I can't
sabotage against your own other team.
Yeah. No,
I want it to be an honest mock draft, okay?
That's a solid turn for someone who took two receivers in the first 2 rounds, to be honest.
Yeah.
Solid turn.
I didn't think I was going to like it, but it worked out.
Yeah. All right. Team 11, Cook, Collins, and Rashee Rice. Yeah. This part of the draft is tough for me. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, because everybody's missed at least one game, and that makes them injury prone, according to George.
Okay, get out of here. 2 receivers, 1 running back. I'll go another running back, and I'll hope the Jets can figure it out and take Breece Hall.
Breece. That was a good.
I was waiting for a pun. I was trying. I was waiting for it.
I was trying. I was going like I was doing like a breeze or a fleece or that was breezy. Like, I don't know.
All right, Breece for impact because his
There you go. There you go. You could have just said it. You didn't have to wait for me.
No, I was waiting. You started going for it. You're like, Breece. It was such a cliffhanger. I was ready for it.
It's called suspense.
Yeah, but you let us down. Built suspense for nothing. Anyway, here we go. Team 10. I'm going to, if you go by ranking standards, this would be considered a reach, but I don't think it's a reach based off of what I think he's going to do this year. Give me Emeka Egbuka. Look, Mike Evans isn't there anymore, and when Egbuka was a top 2 receiver last year, he was a game changer. He was winning people weeks. He only really slid back on weeks where all 3 receivers were healthy and was taking touches from him. With Mike Evans gone, I think Egbuka's going to have a huge year.
Did you guys see? I'm also fact checking this as I'm speaking right now. that the Buccaneers were tagging the wrong Emeka Ibuka on Twitter. So then the wrong Emeka Ibuka like tweeted something out like I don't remember what it was, but it was something like I'm gonna miss the season because he was finally tired of getting tagged, and then they had to like retweet and say this is not the real Emeka Ibuka. Fun stuff.
Also,
Only in the
how is
offseason.
there that many Emeka Igbukas out there?
Hey, you got to get that name handle early. That's all I'm saying.
Unbelievable.
That's really funny. Way to go, admin. I hate making fun of admins, though, being the social media guy here, but you got to fact check that. All right.
Does that mean it's my turn?
Yes, it is. CD Lamb, Trey McBride, and Lamar Jackson on Team 9.
All right, we're going 0 running back strat at this point.
Of course we are.
Well, let's get
This
another.
is Cody's actual team in real life.
Let's get another wide receiver in this situation. I got to see who's even left at this point at wide receiver. Maybe could go that way.
Guy we talked about already on this show, you could do.
I don't remember who we talked about. That was too long ago. I'm just making sure I don't miss someone obvious at the top that I should take, but I'm not going to. Let me go with. All right, I got to take a running back. I can't not. There's too
this
many.
guy's pivoting out of the light.
Fine, Zay Flowers.
Far. Okay, good.
I was trying to save Zay Flowers for Team 6. So I started to get to like maybe if I don't draft him, Team 6 will get him, and that team's the team that's going to log off. So, but it's okay. We're going to go Zay Flowers.
All right.
No,
Jonathan
I didn't
Taylor.
want Jalen Waddle. That's the guy you were thinking.
That
of.
was the guy I was talking about. I wanted to see if you would do it. Jonathan Taylor, George Pickens, Devontae Adams on Team 8. I'm going to go with a second running back. And I guess there's two guys here I'm kind of pivoting between. I'll go with the guy who is a little bit safer, I guess. We just hope he doesn't sputter out at the end of the year. Also, I'll take Javonte Williams.
I found the
he was
tweet.
going to be a league winner to start the year last year, and it just didn't work out in the second half.
I found the tweet from Emeka Ibuka real quick. The fake person, or the fake account that's not actually his official account, tweeted out, "Is CT even real?" And then that's what they had to be like, "Oh, that's not him."
That's great.
That sounds like a conspiracy theory that we can go down a hole on, but I don't want to. So I'm just going to go with my pick. Team 7 is super balanced, and I'm just going to keep it super balanced because that's what Team 7 likes to do. That's how Team 7 operates. So I'm going to go with a quarterback. I'm going Drake May.
Not worried about so you don't think Drake May was the benefit of the schedule last year then?
No.
Interesting. You may be right. You may
Team
be wrong.
7 doesn't think so. Tyler might, but Team 7 doesn't.
I like how he's got 4 different teams in here. He's just going to blame an inanimate object.
They have different personalities. Everybody doesn't draft the same.
All right. Team 6. Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
That fits Team 6's championship or out by week 5 perfectly.
Yeah, I know.
Team 6 is going all in on that.
All in.
Am I allowed to say Joe Burrow's injury prone? I'm sorry. Is that allowed?
He is every other year. It's either McCaffrey or Burrow. They just go back and forth.
Okay, so that means this year Burrow's actually fine, but it's McCaffrey's problem.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Note that, everybody out there that's listening. Team 5, Jamar Chase, Devon Achane, Chris Olave. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Cool. I'll take a second running back, and I'm going to go with Travis Etienne.
Wow. Doubling up on the Saints. Crazy.
Yup.
And first of all,
but it's early.
it's Travis Achane.
You're right. My bad. Because that makes sense. And I really messed up that it's Devon Etienne.
Correct.
Okay. On to Team 4.
Tyler didn't read the text in the group chat.
He did not.
I didn't. I did not. I worked today.
This was a week ago, but it's fine.
I worked a week ago.
You don't like us.
Well, it's not you, it's George. So team 4, I am gonna go with a wide receiver who doesn't have a quarterback, and I'm going Garrett Wilson.
That's crazy.
It's one of those boomer bust kinds of guys. That's how this team is falling. That's how team 4 rolls.
I want to like Garrett Wilson so much. I can't, but I want to.
I feel like in round 4, it's a good value for him.
Yeah, because the potential's there. It's frustrating that it hasn't worked, and I feel like a lot of it's not his fault. It's the quarterback, but never know what they're going to find out of quarterback play this year, I guess.
All right, so do I want to go upside or like probably safer?
Upside for
Jason
sure.
and Chase Brown, I think he can go upside.
All right, Travion Henderson.
Do they still have a?
Yes.
Oh, I put neither. So he's going to be my free running back of the year candidate.
Sure.
Cool. That was the Ken Walker last year. It's going to be free Travion Henderson this year. I'm stamp it now. All right, team 2: Bijan, Omarion Hampton, Josh Allen. I guess it should take a wide receiver, shouldn't it?
If you want.
I could just be the anti-Cody and not take a wide receiver. The wide receivers here are interesting. I could
That's a
take
word.
Jalen Waddle. Jameson Williams is up here. Terry McLaurin's up here. Christian Watson, if we think he's going to be a guy. I guess the guy who's been a wide receiver one in the past, and now he doesn't have Debo there anymore. I'm going to go with Terry McLaurin.
But he's going to have Ayuk soon.
Potentially, and that would change that. But at 7:33 on March 19th, they do not.
All right, round 4. Team 1 needs a second receiver, but they got back-to-back picks since we're going to round 5. So I'm gonna go with Cortland Sutton as that wide receiver. I do think he's going to be the number 1. Waddle's going to be the number 2. And with the 5th pick, we're going to go with a third running back outside of what Cody likes to do with his picks. I'm going Cam Scattaboo.
If he starts the season healthy, that's a good spot.
I don't know why you had an accent there for a second. That was crazy. If he
you.
starts the season healthy.
Starts the season healthy.
That was great.
Oh. I don't know where I
But
came from.
they're also going to draft Jeremiah Love, so just to
everybody's drafting Jeremiah Love, apparently.
It's the Giants. Book it.
New era. They have a Harbaugh.
Yeah, book it. I'm telling you right now. 7:34, March 19th. Giants are drafting Jeremiah Love.
Okay.
George, I gave you enough time. Just make this pick. It's supposed to be rapid fire round 5.
Yes.
Quick before your cat knocks you off the air.
Yeah, literally. Christian Watson.
Okay, Mike Evans.
Can't type that fast.
Jameson Williams.
Just making it very hard to type too. 2-2. I don't have a chance to look at a board while I'm going here. This is great. Have fun. Jalen Hurts.
Javonte Williams.
Gone.
When?
Team 8,
round 4.
Good. I was like, why is that dude still here? But now hang on. Now I got to look for a different guy that's going to.
Oh, we're going to
rapid fire round 5, Cody. What are we doing?
All right, fine. Jesus, sorry. I'm trying to. Team 6 has a theme, okay? So give me DeAndre Swift.
Close your eyes, point to the board, and whatever you land on, that's who you're drafting. But scroll down on your list a little bit first.
Yeah, because you're going to take someone that's already been taken if you didn't.
Give me Quinshawn Judkins.
Cool. 2-2 here as well. Tucker Kraft.
Nice. David Montgomery for the team that doesn't have a running back. Thank you. Solid.
That could be something that we're regretting he didn't take sooner or later.
Oh, crap. Yeah, give me RJ Harvey.
Wow, not JK.
I panicked.
Interesting.
I don't like JK.
Devontae Smith.
Give
He's gonna be
me
wide receiver 1 by the time the season starts.
Colston Loveland.
That was
I don't know
very
how good
hard to go back and forth from my board and figure out who was taken in that 5th round.
So many excuses just because you're a terrible drafter.
Cool.
I would like to speak to the editor. Editor, can we get a bumper for next week that says round 1, fight, every time you guys start bickering with each other? I think we need that.
We would have added 5 minutes of just that bumper to this episode.
I think we need it.
So here's something you got to know. Since you've missed a few episodes, I don't make a lot of bumpers. I'm always like, George, hum the music. So if you want George to hum a music bumper, he'll do that. So, but the editor slacks at his job.
Yes, he does. All right. Any team that you guys like the best, whether it's one of yours or someone else's?
3, 6, 9, 12.
That's not helpful.
I really like 1, 4, 7, 10.
This is going very well. This is the last time I tried to host.
Thank God.
It only took 334 episodes for you to give up hosting. All right. But I'll answer your question honestly at this point right now. And when I look at these teams, I really liked the running back pairing from team 2 at first, but I think rounds 3 and 4 kind of hurt them as much as I love Christian Watson.
That was round 5. So that's even funnier.
Yeah, but he's your wide receiver too. Like you're starting him, relying on him, and you have Terry McLaurin. Like I thought you had really good running backs, and I don't think you balanced it out well. You asked for feedback. I gave you feedback.
That's a fair assessment. I'm round 1 fight.
I would say my favorite is Team 3. I think Team 3 is the most balanced. I feel like it has some of the best upside. If I were to go away from that, I would probably go with Team 7. I feel like their mentality was there. That's what it was. It's the way they draft. It's their personality type that really made that team whole.
You know, Team 6 is winning some leagues. I'm saying it.
Team
Or
6
out.
could win a league 100%. It's probably the biggest boomer bust here.
Team 6 would make a great best ball league.
That's honestly a fair assessment. We'll do a best ball sometime.
George, you got to work on your round 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here looking at Team 5. You got Jamar Chase, Devon Achane, Chris Olave. I like, and then you come back with Travis Etienne. What? Why?
Because everybody sucks after round 3.
If that was Travion Henderson in that spot, do you like that team better?
Yes.
And that's why we learn from our mistakes on March 19th.
Okay. Heck, I like Cam Scatterboo better. Unless they draft Jeremiah Love, which we
I
don't
love
know.
Scatterboo. Big fan. I just took people I liked.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, I am a fan of the running back pairing on Team 10 also, if we can guarantee that CMC is going to play at least 15 games. I just am not a fan of RJ Harvey on the back end, but there's also a chance we're not looking at him on the radar if they draft a running back there too. So that's tough to say this time.
Team 10 panicked because there was a 5-second pick clock and he lost track of where we were.
But I think also from this, just looking at it, Cody was not liking that 6 spot. That 6, 7, 8 is tough. It's going to be a tough place to draft from this year.
Especially in like 12-team leagues, right? Like, I think that plays a factor. We do 10-team leagues a lot. 12 has become more and more of the standard and how people have been playing over recent years. It has definitely increased in popularity, but you see it stretches out the teams so much too. So it adds some more insert big word.
You also got to remember that in most leagues, you're playing a 10-team league, not a 12-team. 10 is a little bit more standard. So a lot of these picks that we're looking at, like, man, round 4 you're taking this guy, like it'll be round 5, round 6 because it'll get pushed further down the draft. So you'll have a little bit better quality once you get to those rounds with less teams.
Yeah, I guess at team 8 taking like Jonathan Taylor, who we'd like for the first round, but you don't really know. If you end up pairing him with Malik Neighbors because it's a 10 team, like that looks a lot different than George Pickens, as much as you like George Pickens.
That's all I got. I got on those, Dad.
All right.
So hit the music. I'm hitting the music.
Yeah.
We're wrapping up. We're done. We're out of here. We went overtime. Hope you got something out of this mock draft. Had some fun. Enjoy March Madness, but thanks for checking out the podcast. If you made it this far, bless your heart. Make sure you're following us on social media at The Couch GMs. We're live on Thursdays throughout the offseason at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm Cody Roadcap. That's George Kurth and Tyler Snyder. We'll talk to you all next week.